Well then, I got tagged basically. Um, for those of you who don't know, tagging is when you choose a random person out of your contacts and tell them to share 5 facts about them. So I got tagged by a person who honestly I don't remember at all. I'm sorry, but I have no idea who you are. I'm apparently friended you, but I friend just about anybody. So Shengi Uzami, you tagged me. I don't know who you are. Whatever. So my 5 facts. Um, I might go off on little tangents for each of these, just to warn you, because I'm going to have some sort of content other than just listing 5 facts here. Um, Fact number 1. Starsky is more Gar than Kamina, Batman, and Master Asia combined. That is not opinion, that is fact. And you all know how Gar, Kamina, Batman, and Master Asia are. If you've seen their respective series, it's just you know how Gar they are. And put them together, and you haven't even come to Starsky. And that's just how Gar Starsky is. So on the topic of Batman, fact number 2. I was 0.13% disappointed with The Dark Knight. 0.1% of that disappointment comes from the portrayal of the Joker. And it's not about Heath Ledger's performance. Heath Ledger did an amazing job, probably the best he could have done, given what he was given. But what he was given is my problem. And it could all be remedied if they hadn't done that one thing at the end of Batman Begins. My main gripe is that the backstory presented in The Killing Joke cannot be applied to this Joker in The Dark Knight. And those of you who don't know the story of The Killing Joke, go out and Google it and download a torrent, and you can find it online, trust me. And read it. If you haven't read it, read it. If you have read it, you probably know what I'm talking about. And if you're too lazy to read it while you're an asshole, you need to go read it because it's awesome. But I'll give you a brief thing here, and if you don't want to be spoiled, just mute it and just mute it and read it and then come back. Suffice to say, it's very similar to the backstory presented in Tim Burton's 1980s Batman film, except unlike the film back in the 80s, the Joker does not steal Joe Chill's one sole moment of awesomeness. I am a stickler for continuity. Joey Chill killed Batman's parents. It was not the Joker. I swear to God, that pissed me off so much when I first saw it. So, yeah, besides that, it's pretty much the same. He gets pushed into a vat of acid by Batman and comes out all crazy fried. And that backstory is not applicable to The Dark Knight because of that calling card that Batman receives at the end of Batman Begins. That calling card means the Joker already existed at the end of Batman Begins. But in the entire continuity of Batman Begins, Batman never went into the whole pushing him into a vat of acid bit, meaning Batman couldn't have created Joker, and therefore it must have been a different origin story. And because the Killing Joke is generally guarded as the main canonical backstory, it kind of irritates me. I know Joker said in The Killing Joke himself that he likes his backstory to be multiple choice, but it still bugs me. And then the last 0.03% of disappointment was that there wasn't enough Alfred. When he was there, he was awesome, just like every single other portrayal in the universe. He is always awesome. He's my favorite supporting character, even more than Gordon. There was not enough Alfred. Alright, back to actual facts. Fact number 3. I can believe it's not butter. I'm ready for a trip. I like butter. It's almost as good as milk. I like to use it in cooking. I prefer it greatly over margarine, even if it's less healthy. And we don't need that damn spreadable butter stuff. It's silly. You don't need that. Just go for regular butter, bud. Fact number 4. The pre-Shippuden fillers are in all ways superior to the current manga canon. It's not opinion, this is fact. The current manga canon sucks ass. Like, it's like a vacuum black hole kind of thing. It's terrible. It's full of, it's like Takahashi went onto a web forum for 12-year-olds, no offense to 12-year-olds, but and found all the stupidest conspiracy theories about the series that he could, and then turned them into what actually happens. Not only that, but the character motivation, especially for Itachi and Sasuke, absolutely, completely nonsensical. Just, there is no logic behind what Sasuke has decided to do after his most recent fight with a certain somebody that I won't spoil. It's just bad. And then, well, that's not even mentioning how much focus he had on Sasuke and not on Naruto, who is the actual titular title character of the series, who isn't. I mean, in the recent chapters, he came back for another training session, which nobody gives a crap about. Do we really want to read 20 chapters of Naruto trying to focus his chakra so he doesn't turn into a goddamn toad? Do we really want to read that? No, we don't. So what does he do to avoid the monotony? He switches back to Sasuke every half a chapter, fighting one of the Jinchuriki, who we've never heard about, but is somehow a significant character. The last one, and he's not. It's the last Jinchuriki besides Naruto, and he's just gonna get swept away. Why can't you avoid scene shifting to avoid monotony, and just not have a monotonous storyline? It's not that hard. One Piece completely avoids monotonous storylines. They don't have damn training sessions. If there's going to be training, it's off screen. And there barely is training. The way it's terrible, and it's stupid. And everyone knows how bad the pre-Shippuden fillers were, but this is just. It makes it all the worse that this new stuff is canon. And that's my justification for rule number 4. And number 5, all Crush 40 remixes of Sonic songs are superior to the originals. That includes His World and All Hail Shadow. And pretty much any other ones that I'm forgetting. Those are the two are the main ones that come to mind. They're more rockin'. You can understand the lyrics a lot better. They got a more kick and beat. Let's go for the weird terminology here. The original All Hail Shadow is just kind of, it's like flowing. But when you think about the lyrics and the tone of the game, you want something more rockin'. And Crush 40 is superior in that regard. And the Zebrahead version of His World, it's certainly a good version, I'll give it that. But, I really like that violin bit. But Crush 40 just takes what they did good and makes it more rockin'. And when you're talking about 3D Sonics, people will criticize the 3D Sonics for having rock songs with lyrics and all that, but, well, I guess they're somewhat metal, but they're not like death metal or anything like that. But, yeah, old school fans criticize the third 3D games in that regard, but that's just what represents 3D games. If you go back to the handhelds like GBA and Sonic Advance 1 through 3 and Sonic Rush, those all have classic upbeat, bubbly, catchy themes for the levels. and the 3D Sonics are more rockin'. It's just a way of separating 2D from 3D. So when we're talking about 3D Sonics, we want something a little more hardcore, which is what the Crush 40 remix points out puts out. Um, and the Zebrahead version, well, it's certainly a good song. It just doesn't fit as well as the Crush 40 remix. And so now I have to tag 5 people real quick. So I'm gonna, if you've already been tagged, just ignore it. I'm gonna tag Gene195. I'm tagging Jaxie11 or the Piplup Dude. I don't know how to say your name, damn it. Masterful Vivi. Let's see, Lico321 because he needs to do something. And oh, what the hell? I'm tag Magnitude. Yeah, sure. See you guys.